Caitlin Clark injury update. Indiana fans get terrible news. Here's when Fever star could return. Caitlin Clark injury. The Indiana Fever fans will have to wait for weeks before the 23-year-old star who is recovering from a groin injury returns. The Indiana Fever fans have to wait even more for Caitlin Clark's return. The 23-year-old missed the Tuesday game against the Dallas Wings, her 11th straight miss since sustaining a right groin injury. Fever coach Stephanie White indicated that Clark will be sidelined for at least a few more weeks with no potential return date revealed. Caitlin Clark began running full court last week and has not yet added more to her workload, White said. No return to practice. She's been able to get a little bit more of her full court running with all of her body weight. It's really building up from doing minimal to then building some endurance to do longer periods of time. She's been able to do a little more on the court in terms of how she moves, but not into practice yet, the coach added. The 2024 number 1 overall draft pick and former Iowa standout has been sidelined for most of the season after suffering multiple injuries to her quad and groin. The latest setback came on July 15, when she was hurt late in a game against the Connecticut Sun. Since then she has appeared in only 13 of Indiana's 32 regular season contests, missing major events such as the WNBA Commissioner's Cup Final and the All-Star Game in Indianapolis. Clark's durability had never been in question before this year. She went through her entire college career and her rookie WNBA season without missing a game due to injury. Caitlin Clark is progressing with injury, still not practicing. Caitlin Clark out with injury. Indiana Fever coach White said after practice Monday, no return to practice. She's been able to get a little bit more of her full court running with all of her body weight. It's really building up from doing minimal to building some endurance to do longer periods of time. She's been able to do a little more on the court in terms of how she moves, but not into practice shape. Clark is 7 of 49 from three-point range in her last 7 appearances and has failed to make a triple in 3 separate games. For the season she's shooting 36.7% from the field, including 27.9% from behind the arc. Clark is still putting up 16.5 points, 5 rebounds, and 8.8 assists per game. She is second in the league in assists. There have been 3 different muscle injuries that Caitlin Clark has dealt with this season, forcing her to miss 19 of 32 games. Not only has Caitlin Clark been out of the lineup, but so have her teammates Sydney Colson and Ari McDonald. They both suffered season-ending injuries. The Fever signed Odyssey Sims to a hardship contract on Sunday. Sims has averaged 11.2 points, 3.8 assists and 2.5 rebounds during her 11-year career, which included an All-Star selection in 2019. Final thoughts. Indiana is hoping that Clark can come back for the playoffs if she is unable to come back for the rest of the season. The Fever are taking things slow with their star player and not rushing the process of her injury. Clark, last season's WNBA Rookie of the Year, was averaging 16.5 points, 8.8 assists, and 5.0 rebounds before her latest injury. However, with Clark out of the lineup, the Fever have managed well without her. They are 6-4 in their last 10 games and are 18-14 and 5th in the standings. They are close enough to still be in the mix for home court advantage in the first round. The Fever are taking on Paige Bueckers and the Dallas Wings Tuesday night without Clark in the lineup.